Do it.
And we are live again. It's Feminine Fridays, everyone. Hello, Diane.
Hey, Laura. Good to be here to another glorious weekend.
I know they just go so fast, but I look forward to our time every week, whenever we can get on and however we do this. And by the way, I'm Laura Rubenstein, the creator of the Feminine Power Cards, and this is Diane Huffman. And what is your claim to fame? What would you like it to be?
Founder of Spa Life. Seek
Yes,
power always.
seek power always spa. And you're at a spa like environment right now. So that's good.
Exactly.
I love it. We live it. We live it. So today what we do every Friday, and what we have been doing is pulling a feminine power card. There it is, right there, and from the deck of wisdom cards that I have created, and they are endorsed, by the way, by John Gray. I don't know if anybody knew that, but John Gray, the guy who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, says he loves these cards. They're like having a relationship coach in your pocket. So it's written right on the card. You can read it. But we all need reminders. We all need coaching. Maybe we don't need it, but we all can benefit from it if we're open to it and if we're coachable. I think we both experience that in our lives. Would you say that's fair to say for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think one of the best things about having a coach and mentor in your life at all times is because there's always the next level of what you're not seeing, right? I mean, you could be doing really great, and then we all have blind spots. And so that's where we want to have, our environment means everything, and having mentors are part of that environment.
Yeah. And our mentors, and especially if they're not attached to our outcomes. They're not attached to our past. They're not attached to us being a certain way in the present is really helpful because that allows us to expand and grow. It's interesting. I was talking to a friend yesterday and I go, somebody from the past called me up and I was telling her about my personal growth journey. And then my friend told me, um, that who I spoke with, oh, I don't really think I've changed much in the last few years since I've seen you last. And it was very curious to me because I can't relate to that, number one. Um, and I didn't have anything to talk to her about. Well, it's not that I didn't have anything to talk to her about, but it kind of put um, an interesting twist on the conversation. It kind of put a box around it where I could talk to her from. So I love the idea that if you're open to coaching, you're getting coaching because you want to change and expand and grow and not stay in the same place. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to be able to see. I mean, just think about if we didn't change at all, we wouldn't have any progress. We wouldn't have, I mean, it'd be kind of boring actually.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Be really, really interesting. So that's why we're here, though, to keep things alive and interesting and make you think. And I know the people who tune in with us are alive and like the idea of growth, and maybe they don't think of it in terms of growth, but it's like solving and resolving things in their lives, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I don't like to use the word problems, but it's solving challenges, moving forward to more creativity, having more of what you love and desire in your life. So that brings me to the card for today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sharing this and the live stream with more people here because it's really important what we're going to talk about because it's about paying something forward. Pay something forward is our card. When I say that, what comes to mind?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I think that for me, I think, each day we tend to have like our to-do lists or things that we want to have happen and agendas that we want to have unfold in our life. But when we take a moment to see how can we have somebody else's life benefit by very simple actions that we can do, I think it makes a huge difference. And so one of the things I look at in terms of paying it forward, I mean, a lot of times we think of like, we're paying for somebody's dinner or coffee, and those are all great things to do. But what even amount of kindness can you do to pay it forward? I recently I met somebody actually in the airport, and I think I've shared to you before, like I don't really talk to people that much when I'm at the airport, but I really connected with this woman and her children, and I've become a bit of a confidant, where it's like when she feels like there's someone she can't talk to, she'll send me a message, and I feel like I'm paying it forward to really support her. She's got a big mission she wants to do in the world, but she feels she needs that support right now. And so I feel like just being holding the space is a way of just letting her know that there's bigger things available for her. It's not me solving her problem for her. It's really allowing her the space to talk through what she needs to do next.
Mm. You know, some people don't get how valuable that is, being the space of listening. Um, Listening is a gift. People think they're not doing anything if they're just listening to somebody. You were giving a huge gift. And I think we talked about that last week when we talked about not giving advice, but rather just listening and trusting that people have their own solutions.
Right.
That is a form of paying it forward, like you said. And it's interesting you use those words, because the back of the card, I mean, you use the word of random acts of kindness, is the back of the card is our kindness. It talks about kindness. Practice acts of conscious, I call it conscious kindness. Okay. And you know, you think about paying for somebody's coffee, but here's an example. It's actually written on the card. Leave the next public restroom you're in cleaner than you arrived. Right.
Yeah.
Or put money in a meter when it's expiring. Do something nice that somebody's not expecting. Like, what would you like the world to be like in your everyday experience? Really step into that and make it happen. Just make it a reality.
Yeah. You know, I love that about even with the bathrooms, because, you know, I travel a lot, and a lot of times you can kind of tell a lot from either like a rest stop bathroom or even an airport bathroom. And I've just made a point, like whatever stall I'm in, if there is an extra piece of toilet paper or there's something on the floor, you know, I will pick it up, you know, and I may just wrap some toilet paper and I'm not touching all kinds of random stuff there, but I'm picking it up because I think that there's something about when you have a clear space, it actually, I think, encourages you to keep it nicer. One of the things that I remember on the police department was that if you know, a certain gang had, you know, graffitied a building, it was so important for the neighborhood watch teams and things to actually paint over that, because as soon as those things get painted over, it leaves a slate that, you know, this area is protected, that it's not something that can you can ruin or do things. But if the graffiti
and leave
is
your
left,
mark.
right, you leave your mark, and if graffiti is left there, then it almost like opens up the gate to everybody to tag it, and then it just really takes over an area. So being conscious of our space is so important. It's a way to pay it forward so that everyone else can enjoy a beautiful space just by us being intentional of how we leave a space.
Yes. And it's not hard, you know, the sink might just be wet around it. Take an extra paper towel, wipe it down. You know, and if somebody sees you doing that, you're spreading that permission to do random acts of kindness, to do things like, oh, take care of a public restroom, which is just not in our normal day thinking. But now you'll see more and more people doing it, and it'll become a thing, just like it is to pay for somebody's coffee behind you. I was at a restaurant not too long ago, and we wound up sitting at the bar because it was full, and this woman came in, and you could tell she was maybe sitting on the street for a day or something, because of the way her money was and just her demeanor, but she wanted a drink. And she laid her money right on the table so that the bartender could see she's not just going to take a drink and run. So you just had that energy about her, and then the guy next to us wound up paying for her, and the bartender said, "Don't worry about it, he got it." And so that made me think, like, wow, here I am just watching this happen. But that was such a nice gesture for, I mean, you can have all kinds of thoughts around it, but just the overall intention of it was a kind gesture. And so if there's something kind you can do, I was at the store the other day, and this woman had her child with her, and she had just put her stuff on the conveyor belt behind me, and something the the cashier needed to go find a price or something for something I wanted, and the next cashier over opened with nobody there. So I actually helped the woman with her groceries from the conveyor belt that she was behind me to there, because I, not only did I feel like I was holding her up, but her hands were full. And it's just
Yeah.
like, duh, like, okay, I can do this. I have two hands. I'm waiting for the cashier anyway. She doesn't have
Right.
that many items. She has a kid to look after. Why don't I help her? And she
Mm,
was so surprised, like this shouldn't be surprising. She was almost
right.
like, is this okay? Are you going to take my stuff? I mean, it was the
Right.
energy. She didn't say that,
Right.
but
Yeah.
where can you do a conscious act of kindness?
Mm. You
If
know,
you, Mhm.
I was just going to say, one of the things that it just reminded me of something I've seen Carrie do several times, which I think is so cool, is like at a hotel or sometimes at a restaurant, he'll pre-tip somebody, and he'll basically say, I am expecting that I'm going to have such great service here that I actually want to tip you in advance. And what's so interesting is just the look on people's face, and they actually want to live up to that, and they will go out of their way to just be nicer, right? And it's an interesting way where it just changes someone's demeanor of when you've acknowledged them and you've said something nice to them before, even though their job or work is just to help and support you. When you've got that kind of extra incentive, it just kind of then seeds it for them to help people in advance as well, right?
Yeah,
So
I love
it's
that.
just a fun thing to watch. I've seen him do it a couple times.
That's neat. So he actually says, I'm like pre-acknowledging the fact that you're going to do a great job for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. I love that. Ooh, what a great conscious act of kindness. Think out of the box. What else can we do? How can we make this planet a better place to live? And the people and interact with the people we have on this planet, because we're not here alone. So we might as well
Mhm.
interact, and we might as well have a good time and enjoy each other and be kind, right? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why be angry and mean? There's like, do you get joy out of that? I don't know anybody gets much joy out of that, but real true joy, um, by hurting other people. So let's pay something forward. Let's be kind. Let's smile at somebody. That could be huge. Just smile at somebody, you know,
Right.
just make
Right.
their day, because acknowledging them. You're on this planet here. You never know what somebody's going through. And a conscious act of kindness could change their day and make their day. Compliment the next person you see. By the way, Diane, you look incredible.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I wanted to bless everyone's day by, I'm at the beach. So having the ocean in the background, I think sometimes just the settings that we set for people, it invites them to have beauty in their life, to have serenity, to take care of themselves. I mean, it's just, this beautiful option to be in a nice place.
Yeah. So again, today's card is pay something forward, be a gift to some people, other person in your life. Think about a creative way, whether it's cleaning a bathroom, not even cleaning it, but just leave it a little bit cleaner. Let's say that. Or thinking about somebody and giving them a ring just because you wanted to let them know how special they are.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
love it.
special out there. You're special, Diane. And you guys mean the world to us, that you
Yeah.
watch this and that we want. And if you have ideas, like who, maybe you didn't think you could actually wipe up the sink around the bathroom, and now you'll do it. But what ideas do you do? I love the ideas that you already gave. I love the idea that Carrie does, right?
Yeah.
So be a heat seeking, you know, particle for opportunities to be kind.
Yeah. Well, and we'd love to hear about them, So if this, spurred some idea for you, either something that you already do or something that you aspire to do maybe this weekend, I think is so great. Is coming into this Labor Day weekend. It's like the last weekend before summer. I know a lot of people have gone back to school and shifted, but I still think of August as the very end of summer. So it's like, what is that last bit we can kind of squeeze out of the summer to really show some kindness and look and see what that is. So I'd love for anybody, watching this either live or on the replay to put in, what are some of the things that you plan on doing or some things you've witnessed, right? That's almost fun as well, is to look and see what are other people doing. We notice kindness. We really do. And so when we notice it, we tend to incorporate it more of ourselves. So if you notice a kindness out there, put it in there, because I think it's important to see. The more we see it in there, like if we just saw a lot of different, notations that people put in there, comments and things, then it's like it jars the idea and it expands what's possible in the world of kindness. So I think the more we see that, the more fun it is.
Indeed. Well, it's always fun playing with you in this world of the feminine, of bringing more kindness into the world. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what people have to say. And we'd love to hear more. So let us know, whatever you're thinking, what's in your heart. That's what we're here for. So
Absolutely. Yes.
yes. And have a heart-centered weekend. And we'll be back with you next Friday. And this is the Labor Day weekend. So enjoy your celebrating the labors that you do in the world.
Wonderful. Good to see everybody. You look beautiful, Laura.
Thank you. So do
All
you.
right. Talk to
Bye
you soon.
now.
Bye bye.
Mwah.